What makes airplane turn? When we fly straight and level, the lift force will act perpendicular to our wings. In order to make turn the aircraft, we have to change our vertical lift to horizontal one to allow pull through all the heading. We cannot just twist or turn the aircraft by using our rudder. If we use the rudder alone, the aircraft without changing vertical lift to horizontal one, the aircraft will slip and continue in this way. If we would like to turn our aircraft, we must able to change our vertical lift to horizontal one. How we do this in our aircraft? By using our ailerons. The ailerons, we remember, is located the outer portion and the trailing edge of the wing in the both sides. They are working oppositely. One side goes down while other side goes up. If you would like to turn the left side, we have to change our yoke to left, and at that point the left aileron will goes up, the right aileron will goes down. By having that, the right side of the right wing will increase the actual curvature and increase the angle of attack, as well as the lift. On the other hand, the left side aileron will goes up and disrupt our airflow, which is traveling above the wing, and then it will decrease our lifting force. As a result, the left wing will drop and right wing, which is increasing lift force, will rise up. And also I would like to mention the adverse yaw. Adverse yaw, which when we deflecting downward or right aileron, it will create also the drag, and this drag force will pull our nose the opposite side. But I will mention and detail the adverse yaw in the second part of this lecture. Now let's look a little bit more detail of the aircraft turning. When we fly straight and level, as I said, the lifting force will act perpendicular to our wings. And there will be opposite force, which is the weight, where the gravity falls downward to aircraft. And if we bend the aircraft, the vertical lift will be decreased and it changed the horizontal lifting force to allow the aircraft turn. And the weight will be still same. When we have the reducing the vertical lift, our aircraft is going to start the descent, and the contract that we have to increase our back pressure to pulling the yoke. If we make the step or turn, we have to increase our back pressure in order to maintain our altitude. And remember, the Newton says that if we have any action, there will be opposite and equal reaction. And when we pull the aircraft to the back side, we also generate the centrifugal force to opposite our turning. The centrifugal force, which is generated from the backward pulling. And maybe you have seen that there is force if you are in the car and when you're driving around the corner too fast, your body weight will slide to the side. And this force is exactly the centrifugal force, which is oppositely the turning side. To elaborate a little further about the adverse yaw, like I said, the aircraft is the left turning configuration, which means left aileron up and the right aileron deflected downward position. And increasing the curvature of the wing, there will be the more lifting force. And in the life, something is good, there comes something bad. The hanging down of this aileron will also generate the drag force. You may think like when you sticking your hand over the car window, the wind will pull backward of your hand. The exactly same thing happen over there. The manufacturer compensate to this force. They hanging the aileron the top instead of exactly the center line to reduce the drag force. But we cannot eliminate this force totally. What happened when we turning? The aircraft try to turn, and this drag force will pull our nose the opposite direction of the turning. and this will be the uncoordinated turn. What we want to do, we want to keep our nose in the turn when we are making that, and it will be the coordinated turn. Let's say on example we would like to turn the left side, we look to left, there is no traffic and a clear left, and we turn our yoke to left side, and then we use the rudder pressure together, and we can make a coordinated turn. To be able to make a coordinated turn, we have to use our ailerons and rudder together. And let's look now how we cannot do the coordinated turn, how it will be the uncoordinated turn. In our aircraft, we have one instrument which is the turn coordinator. And thanks to this device, we are able to evaluate our quality of the turning. There will be a ball inside of this instrument which is moving freely by centrifugal force. And in normally it is in the middle. When we're making a circle, we would like to have here is the nose and here is the tail. We would like to have the tail is directly behind the fall of the oar nose. And we have to use proper amount of the yoke, and we have to use proper amount of the rudder together, and it will be the coordinated turn. But let's say I forgot to use our proper amount of the rudder, and I just use the aileron to turn. The aircraft nose will be outside of the turn, and on the bow we will see our bow is the left side of the oar cage or the oar center line. And in our flight training, we always say the kick the ball. At this point, we have to use the left rudder to keep our aircraft coordinated. And also in the second scenario, if we overexcited and when we giving to our rudder pressure, we use the high amount of the rudder pressure to make a turning according to our aileron input. And there will be our turning, our nose will be inside of the turning. And on our turn coordinator, we will see the ball is the right side of the center and right side of the cage. And we call that the skidding turn. And this one is the first one is the coordinated turn. The second one, which is without using the rudder, try to turning with the aileron, we call that slipping turn. And the last one is the skidding turn, which is we use the very much rudder pressure to making a turn. Very beginning of your flight training, you have to pay a decent amount of attention when you looking your turn coordinator and outside of the cockpit to make a coordinated turn. At the very close to your flight training, you must able to make a coordinated turn, and it should be the natural instinct to make a turn. And when you're sitting to your seat, at the moment making your turn, you have to feel like your weight is just going straight down to the seat. You never want to feel like you are sliding out of your seat. You always have to feel like your weight is going just straight down the seat. At that point, we have to look a little further about the left turning tendency, how we are going to, and we have to use the rudder pressure when to make a coordinated the climbing, the straight, level, and the descending.